Drishyam 1, the Hindi remake of the Malayalam film, became a cult classic. Its characters were household names. Vijay Salgaonkar, Gaitonde, 2nd October ko kya hua tha? It became a part of the pop culture, and you can tell that from the buzz around the sequel. The weekend box office is amazing because we are getting to revisit the characters and the world we love. And why was it so loved? Because it was so different. Hindi audiences had not seen anything like this before, where our hero suffers so much. It's about his family, what lengths he can go to save them. We are constantly rooting for him, and the general expectation is at the end the hero will beat down the villains. But no, in this story it never becomes physical because our hero uses his brain, and that just blew everyone's mind. Only other Hindi film I can think of which did something like that was A Wednesday. First of all, the story is king, and that comes from the original, but the connection the audience created with the actors in this film, that was the big plus of the remake. They casted two powerhouses, Tabu and Ajay Devgn, and pitched them against each other, and just their presence elevates the film. And now with Drishyam 2, again the credit for the story goes to Jitu Joseph, who made the original, and I still cannot believe there's a sequel to the Drishyam story. I never thought that's possible. And again, what the Hindi version did to stand out was getting an amazing actor, Akshay Khanna, in such a pivotal role where he just elevates the film with his presence on screen. In the original, that character is played by Murli Gopi, and he does a good job, but the way the Hindi version treated that character gave him so much swag and aura around him that whenever he walked into the frame, we were just blown away. There's a scene with Akshay Khanna, visiting the family, and I don't remember the same scene being in the Malayalam version, but the impact of this one was outstanding, and all the credit goes to the performances. And just like the first movie where it was Ajay Devgn versus Tabu, this time it's Ajay Devgn versus Akshay Khanna, and there's Tabu too. So that clash is so exciting. The first Hindi remake was directed by Nishikant Kamath, who passed away recently, and Abhishek Pathak came on board to direct the sequel. And it's such a weird thing, right? You are making a sequel to the first film. It was remake of original film, and even the sequel is a remake of the original sequel. It's like totally mind-blowing. So now the challenge is that you have to take forward the story, which is a remake, and apply it to a world which has already been made by someone else. So you have to continue that world also. And I felt that was really well done. Both films feel consistent. And coming to the story, that is the best part of it. The consequences of the actions of the first film, we see them. It's not over. Whatever happened in the first film will always continue to haunt this family. It's a lifetime trauma, and you have to keep living with it and keep running from it. And there's literally a dialogue in the film that the only way it ends is with their death. And this time we go one step ahead. How more far can you go to save your family? And the intent is not malicious, it's not evil, it's not to harm someone else, but to save yourself, save your family. It's a survival instinct. It's either you or them, and you have to choose yourself. The difference this time is that there's more time to plan everything, unlike the first movie. And thus, when we see the plan unfold, it's just outrageous. And because the execution is so good, it's a total thrill to watch it. I have seen the original, the plot beats are exactly the same, but there is some special connection I have with the Hindi version because that's the first time I watched Drishyam. Then I went back and watched the original Drishyam and then its sequel. And honestly, they are the same story, but they are two separate worlds. You cannot watch the Hindi Drishyam and then watch the Malayalam sequel. It will not work, and vice versa. You have to watch them in their own continuity. And knowing the story, still my heart was pounding until the climax. But it didn't have the same impact the way I had for the Malayalam one. And there's a reason for that. For a moment, let's go back in history. When the first original Drishyam, the Malayalam one, came out, they marketed it as a drama film. It's a family drama. And something wrong happens to them, that's the story. They never said it's a thriller. So when at the interval the murder happens, everyone's like, oh my god, now what? We're halfway through, now what will happen? And the whole second half is the thriller part, and people were blown away. I'm sure everyone, even the Hindi version, had the same impact because most of us hadn't heard about the Malayalam original one. But when the original sequel was announced during the lockdown, people were like, why are you doing this? We're just trying to make more money out of it. There was a lot of criticism. And again, the director came out and said, it's not a thriller. It's a drama that what will happen now? Now they'll get caught. The truth will come out one day, and that's the story of the film. So don't expect it to be a thriller. And again, watching the film, the last 30 minutes just blow your mind away. So once you have experienced that, right, watching the Hindi one you'll never have the same experience. I was literally screaming in amusement when I saw it for the first time. And I really envy the people, who saw the Hindi one first and had the same experience. Now, comparing the original and the remake, there's a lot to talk about. There are quite a few changes they have made to the plot. There are quite a few things I liked in the remake more, and some things which the original did well. Even the way some of the sequences are shot, they are little different and they work differently. And I will be making a detailed video comparing both the films. I've done that before also with the first Drishyam. So to get that, do subscribe, hit that like button if you like this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.